Welcome to Mission San Diego de Alcala, the first of the 21 California missions in the state of California. In this fully immersive virtual reality presentation, you may use your mouse or virtual reality headset to look around in 360 degrees and see all aspects of the mission. The missions are located along El Camino Real, the King's Highway, beginning in San Diego and ending 500 miles to the north in Sonoma. Mission San Diego was founded by Father Junipero Serra on July 16, 1769, on a hill overlooking the Bay of San Diego, and moved to this site in 1774. The church as we see it today is a copy of the 1813 church, which over the years was ravaged by time and ultimately collapsed. This present structure was built in the 1930s. Along the portico are 9 niches. In each niche is a statue of the saint after whom each of the first 9 missions was named. These statues were sculpted by James Hubble. All California missions, except for Mission Purísima Concepción, were built in the shape of a quadrangle. On one side of the church was a courtyard which was the central gathering place and quite often had a cistern. It is believed that this fountain was placed over the site of the mission-era cistern. As in mission days, the courtyard continues to be the site for many special events. In order to learn more about mission life, archaeologists and students from area universities began excavating the south wing of the mission's quadrangle beginning in the summer of 1966. Referred to as the Convento Wing or Friary, this section uncovered remains of adobe walls, tile floors, a kitchen, a library, a waiting room, and guest rooms. Thousands of objects or pieces of objects were unearthed during the excavations, and many are on display in the museum. The native people, the Kumeyaay, were hunters and gatherers and lived in conical-shaped huts called iwas. The Kumeyaay were seasonally nomadic. They moved to the mountains in the summer and returned to this area in the winter. The primary part of their diet was acorns, which they would gather and grind down and prepare in the stone bowls seen here. Kumeyaay Garden Area is reserved for the native people to honor their sacred ground and to celebrate their heritage. A sense of peace and quiescence is felt throughout the meditation garden. The statue of St. Francis of Assisi, the founder of the Franciscan Order of Priests who established the California missions, is central to the garden. St. Francis is depicted with birds, which serves as a reminder that he and his followers were devoted to all God's creatures. The campanario is 46 feet high and is typical of Spanish architecture. It is a wall adjoining a church with openings for holding bells. The bells played an important role in the everyday life of the mission. A sequence of tones and rhythms was developed for each occasion. They were used to announce times for Mass, work, meals, and siestas. The bell signaled danger, rang solemnly to honor the dead, and pealed joyously to celebrate feast days, weddings, and fiestas. All 5 bells are rung in unison only once a year for the Festival of the Bells, commemorating the anniversary of the founding of Mission San Diego. The corridor leads us through a small garden with a statue of the Pieta and a display of mosaic stations of the cross. The church interior is 150 feet long, 35 feet wide, and 29 feet high. All mission churches were long and narrow because in mission days they had no way of joining beams. The width of the building was determined by the height of the trees that were available. Original materials present in the building include the wooden beams over the doorways, the dark adobe tiles at the front of the church. The wooden structure on the back wall of the sanctuary is called a reredos. The canopy in front of the sanctuary is called an umbraculum and symbolizes that Mission San Diego is a basilica. A basilica is a church of historic significance and is in honor bestowed upon Mission San Diego by Pope Paul VI in 1976. La Capilla. This chapel was built in the 1970s to house the choir stalls, altar table, and celebrant's chair dating to the 1400s, which were a gift to the mission and imported from Spain. The chapel is used for meditations, baptisms, and small liturgies. The angels on the altar table were sculpted by noted Julian artist James Hubble. Casa de los Padres is one of the only intact sections of the earliest mission. It is believed that this room was the resident padres' living quarters because of its proximity to the church. This room has been furnished to illustrate the simple lifestyle of the padres. The fireplace would not have been here in mission days and was possibly added during the presence of the United States military in the mid-1800s. The display of Franciscan robes show the gray wool robe worn by the Franciscans in mission days and the brown robes worn by Franciscans today. The museum traces the history of the area from pre-contact through the restoration in the 1930s. We hope that you are inspired to visit and spend time touring the grounds, absorbing a sense of peace and tranquility, and learning more about the rich history of Mission San Diego de Alcala, the soul of San Diego.